Joining us right now to talk about what is next for AI is Dan Primack, who is Axios' business editor. Dan, let's talk a little bit about this. What's happening? It seems like everybody's talking about AI. Who has a real plan? Who doesn't? How do venture capitalists size this up? And how much money is ready to pour into it?
Venture capitalists are sizing it up by kind of going land grab, right? Just putting hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars into lots of different startups, that some of which are kind of direct competitors to OpenAI / ChatGPT, some of which are in different areas, focused on images, focused on videos. This is kind of like what we've seen before, maybe a year or two ago when we were talking metaverse and VCs were kind of funding all sorts of startups. The difference is scale of capital. Those companies might have been getting $5, $10 million. These companies are getting $200, $300, $400 million.
And is that suggest? I mean, that's kind of the way venture capitalists operate, it seems to me. They find the next big thing and they throw money everywhere, realizing that it's kind of like buying a lottery ticket. It may or may not hit, but as long as you have some that hit, it'll take care of all the losses that are out there.
It seems to be, yeah. And, it's interesting. A couple of months ago when ChatGPT first came out, you had so many venture capitalists who were admittedly stunned by kind of what it could do. And we're really already talking about OpenAI, that product's creator, as being, the next Google. This is the next revolutionary company. And then in the couple months since then, they seem to have gone from really interesting company to maybe we can beat them. Let's find something that can beat them, or at least take a big piece of the eventual market share here and build the next transformational company. And to be honest, you're even seeing big tech do that, right? Google, who kind of should be leading this race and has DeepMind, et cetera, internally, they just invested a ton of money into one of these AI startups. So even the big legacy tech companies, and obviously what Microsoft has done with OpenAI, giving it billions of dollars.
Okay, so if we're talking about an environment where there's less money to go around, all of that has been shrinking, the liquidity has dried up, and yet in this arena, there's lots of cash to go around. Does that mean that the GoGo days are still there when it comes to some of these initiatives, and that's where the hiring's going to be, that's where the spend's going to be?
Absolutely. So venture capital, the overall dollar amount invested has gone down a little bit, but most of the firms that are out there, particularly the big firms, they raised their funds while the GoGo days were still going, particularly in 2021, the beginning of 22. So they're still sitting on an enormous amount of dry powder, and this is where they're starting to plug it.
So how do we look at all of this and know who the winners or losers are going to be?
Wait. We have to wait. I mean, even OpenAI and ChatGPT, the business model of it isn't exactly clear. You do have all sorts of companies, non-tech companies, that are trying to productize AI and are playing with it. I was meeting yesterday with the CEO of kind of a digital health company, and he was telling me how they're toying with it. They haven't put anything out into market yet, but I think every company is at least looking at these things internally. But how much they're actually going to pay for them, how valuable they'll be, how much, whether it be OpenAI or any of these rivals are able to actually monetize this stuff, still wait to be seen. But if you're a venture capitalist and you think this could be the next Google, it's worth the flyer, even if it's an expensive flyer.